Hello, hello, hello. So welcome. Today I am going to review Pawsome Pets. So it's great to connect with you. I know this website is built for people in Japan, and here I am in New York City. So this is the cool thing that I love about what we do. We get to meet people all over the world. So anyways, let's get into it. So Pawsome Pets. Um, the way we're going to do this review is in two parts. The first part, which I will do, is I'm just going to share with you my feedback as a potential customer coming to your site. Um, how it lands on me, my experience with it, my general thoughts. In the second part, my colleague Anna Marie, who's a designer on our team, is going to share some specific user experience and design feedback. So let's dive in. Pawsome Pets. Number one is the URL. Just immediately, just wanted to point that out there. It's a little bit hard to spell and remember. You know, you have the possum, it's like not a real word, and then you have a hyphen, and then pets. So you might want to consider just renaming that or finding a different username without the hyphen so that when people share it with each other, it's easy to get off, for people to find you. Um, Number two, so coming to the site itself, it's from the name, and it's sort of immediately clear that this is something to do with animals, but I don't know what exactly. So um, looks like you guys turn pictures of pets into portraits, which is pretty cool. I have a dog. I'd love for someone to create a portrait of my dog. Um, but then it seems like, your whole site, at least when I first see this, I see a picture of a cat, I see a cat house, I see four cats, I see cat care, I see cat toys. But then there's a picture of dogs. So it's unclear to me if you're, just cat focused or do you do dogs and cats? If I have a pet raccoon, can I turn him into a portrait? Not super clear to me. So there's a little bit of confusion in my mind there. Um, then just nitpicking, but the T in just seems to be randomly capitalized in before eternal, which is a bit odd. So maybe just it's a small nit, but could fix that. Um, and then we have popular items, which are perfect for your cat. So again, we're going back to the cats. So maybe just replace this since everything is geared towards cats. Just have a picture of cats because that's everything else on the site seems to be targeting cat owners. But let's keep going. Popular items. That is a magnificent cat, Waffle. If I had a cat, I would call him Waffle. And then there's a Valentine's Day campaign. Um, yeah, I'd find to maybe try and find a stronger connection here. Just, gift if your girlfriend has a cat, like gift her something, or, the love and cats are in full swing on Valentine's Day. Uh, I'm not sure what that means. Um, New arrivals. And then so you're sort of collecting email addresses way down on your site. And another tactic I've seen a lot of people implement is as soon as someone lands on the site, there's a pop-up that offers them this 15% off So you're able to capture more emails that way, and then you have that if they dismiss that banner pop up, it just lives in the sidebar navigation as a constant reminder that they can get 15% off if they sign up and give you their email. That might be something you look into. Um, just noticing you know, it just looks a little bit, if you see the scratching tool and cat tower, the words are getting cut off a little bit. And everywhere else you have the words that are centered, whereas here it seems to be aligned to the left. So maybe just make everything consistent. Your call to action here, and I know this is an English translation, so maybe things look different in Japanese, but registration seems a little bit formal. Maybe sign up or submit um, might be a bit better there. Um, Popular cat house. And so you have like this one video on your site, which to me, of everything I've seen so far, this is the most compelling and engaging thing. So maybe moving this up or introducing more videos like this are more likely than not going to increase the sales that you make. Nail sharpener recommended ranking. So again, I know this is a translation, but I'm not sure what recommended ranking means. Is it ranked on the number of sales you've made? Is it ranked based on your editorial, your personal opinion? Like, what is this ranking? It's not clear to me. And then you have the welcome piece that is all the way, I'm kind of halfway through your page, and that's where I see it. List of cat care products. Kind of curious about your story. And so again, I think this just feels unnecessary. There's a lot of scrolling I have to do to get to your story, and that, banner image didn't really add much value. Uh, Again, a small nit, but you just probably want a line break between these two sentences. It says here, you're not just a shop, you're a community that supports cats and them. So I haven't seen the word community anywhere else. And maybe there is a community, it's a Facebook group, a Discord group, or subreddit, something, but this is the first place I'm seeing community. Um, and I think that is, something that people might want to join the community, but it's not super clear why this is a community and not just a store. Not to be super critical, but like I know the sort of theme is that if your store is, hey, make this improving about the lives of your cat. But ultimately, people buy things because it makes their lives better. And yes, they love their cat. I have a dog. I love my dog. But, sell me on how this is going to make my life better, um, instead of trying to angle this about like for my cat's happiness. Um, Then we have 15% off. We have socials, which is good. I'm not sure what SNS means. I might just want to relabel that to social media or something. It's great that you take all these payment options. Just some capitalization things. The T in track your order, in I in inquiry, the C in cat house, the T in terms of use. I would just make them all consistent to just give more of a professional feeling, because ultimately you're trying to build trust with your buyers, and when they see these small things that might break a little bit of the trust factor. So yeah, I know I've gone on for a long time, but like love the mission, love the vision. If I had high level pieces of feedback, I would make this navigation more clear. We go back to the home page. Yeah, I would, fix this dog cat issue, and I would try to add more videos to your site. Like, I really like this video, and I would be curious about how this product is selling compared to the other videos. So hopefully this has been helpful. I'm going to hand it off now to my colleague Anna Marie, and I hope you're having a great time in Japan. Chat soon. Bye-bye.
Hi there, I'm Anna Marie. Let's take a look at the Pawsome site from a little bit of a design perspective. So right off the bat, I really love that you have a clear brand, right? I can see your logo and this illustration has a clear style. And then there's also clear color scheme. So you're using black, this light green, and this kind of burnt orange, which is really nice as far as consistency and making me identify with a brand and kind of be able to remember you. So that's great. The one thing I'll say is, right, I think this image doesn't totally match that brand. So that seems like a really different style. And so I know Roosh had some other comments on that, but just in terms of kind of brand contrast, it feels a little off. So maybe something to think about whether that's the best thing to have here as the first image. And then otherwise, going down the site, I love that you have a mix, right, of kind of these four column featured items and then this like bigger full screen moment. And so it's fun to go through and it's easy to see that you have some stuff that you're highlighting more. So all of that's great. The couple things that I would maybe recommend thinking about or improving on this site. So I know Roosh mentioned a couple kind of things being left aligned versus right aligned. So just making sure that's consistent as far as the navigation. So center aligning that. And then also checking the padding on some of these, right? So this image, when I hover over, is touching the top. So that type of stuff, just fixing the consistency. And then the other thing I noticed, right, that you have two navigations. So you have this main navigation that's showcasing all of the different categories. And then there's this top navigation with kind of some of the maybe subcategory information. So that's a little bit confusing. And I think if I go on mobile, which by the way is great that the site's responsive and I can look at it on different screen sizes. So if I look at it here, right, this feels a little more intuitive. It's all in this one navigation. So I would consider combining those two. And I think, right, this isn't as important as at the top, and you have it in the footer too. So maybe it's just a matter of having kind of an about item here that opens a pop-up with all of these. Or you could just choose to have these only in the footer, because I think the double navigation is a little bit confusing. And then the other big piece of feedback that I would have here is that even though I love your colors and I love that you have clear brand colors, there are a little bit of legibility issues. So for example, this white text over this green background is really hard to read. And then same thing, right, with orange or yellow over white is typically really hard to read. So just making sure that the color contrast is strong enough for people to be able to read the text. Again, if we go down here, right, some of these prices are really hard to read when they're in green. And then also sometimes there's just a lot of different colors. So right in this section, you have your orange, which is the brand color, but then you have, right, this red, and then there's this new brown for the button, and the button's a little hard to see both here and in the main section. So just really thinking about that. I think sticking to, right, black as kind of the main text and maybe even the main button color. And then just using the orange and the green more so as backgrounds, or right, the way it's used in this paw is great. When it's something that's not as important, you don't have to read it, just because otherwise you start having some legibility issues. And then the final thing just to talk about, right, if we click into an actual product. So I love that you have multiple photos of all of the products. I love that you can kind of see the different colors if you have variations. So that's all great. But again, just legibility wise, right, some of these buttons are a little hard to read. So again, I don't think the contrast between the white and the green is maybe strong enough to have as a main button. And so just thinking about that, I'm trying to see if there's any other products that you might want to look at. So just making sure, yeah, right here, like the price is a little hard to see, shipping is always free. Just thinking about the colors and making sure that contrast is there. But yeah, I love that you have these product details. I love that you have more text about the product, and that right here at the bottom, you always have this add to cart visible. I think that's awesome. But again, just maybe rethinking some of the colors to make sure everything's really easy to read. Hope that helps.